I'm joined here today by victorious Beneil Dariush, coming, of course, off the big KO over Drakkar Klose at UFC 248. Thanks so much for joining me, man. How are you?
Pleasure, man. Good. Drakkar got me a couple of good times. I got some bumps for this, and just happy to be home, healing up.
You mentioned a couple bumps and bruises. Is it fair to say you have a little bit of black eye on your left eye?
Yeah, man. One of my eyes is like I got the black eye. The one that looks really bad is not that bad, and then the other one that doesn't look too bad, that one actually is worse. It feels worse. I don't know how to even explain that.
Before we do talk about the fight, it seemed like beforehand there was some kind of beef between you guys. What was going on heading into that fight?
Uh, to be honest, I don't feel like there was any beef. I think he was hoping to like get some friction going so he can I don't know, he was trying to manufacture something so he can get more people, more coverage on it. But then I think we were so hype on the main card. I think he was like, you know what, forget it. I don't need to do that. We're already high up on the main card. I think he was just trying to get attention on the fight, and he was saying things because we were supposed to fight originally last year, and it fell through. And that being said, we got rescheduled and he said some stuff because I was injured. But whatever, it's done and over with. But no, man, there's no real beef.
And so we did see you guys go out there and strike. I mean, was that the game plan to go out there and strike with him? Because we know that you're usually a ground guy. I mean, you've been getting these submissions these past couple fights.
Definitely not like that. I mean, striking obviously. I strike with every one of my opponents. I did some striking with Dover. I did some striking with Camacho. Not so much with Moises, but I've done striking with all my opponents. It's not like I just right off the bat just shoot.
Right.
Uh, but the thing is, I don't go do striking like that, man. That was just like I'm gonna throw caution to the wind. You hit me, I gotta hit you now, kind of thing. I just kind of lost my cool for a little bit, and my legs were tired from the body lock, and I know they're gonna come back, but I think he thought I was more tired than I actually was, so he thought this is his chance to pressure me and really hurt me. So my mind says, "Oh, you think you're gonna get me right now? I'm gonna put it on you." So I put you in defense, and that's where that went.
And so, at what point mentally did I guess the switch flip, and then you decided to throw caution to the wind and just go ahead and go all out striking like that?
Well, as soon as it got hit, I do not enjoy being hit. And when he hit me, I just thought to myself, you know, if I just keep backing up, he's gonna just keep hit. He's gonna keep pressuring me, trying to, you know, bully me. I said, no more of this. It's my turn to be a bully.
Is this fight the case of a veteran, I guess, outsmarting one of the younger guns? I mean, what's kind of the storyline coming out of this fight?
Good question, man. I don't know. I mean, he's 6 fights, or that was his seventh fight in the UFC. So it's not like he's fresh into the UFC. He's got quite a bit of fights, and
Right.
all his fights have been decisions. So he might have nearly the same amount of cage time as me. Because some of my fights have been shorter. But I think it's just the story of this fight. There are levels to this, and I think people need to kind of start recognizing that it's not a good idea to match me up with up and comers, or with veterans, or prospects, or whatever you want to call them. I'm a contender, and I need to be fighting contenders. That's how I feel, but you know, we'll see what happens.
100%. And during that sequence, because it is one wild sequence before we finally get to the finish, I mean, did you realize at any point that you had him hurt, or were you just kind of in the zone just trying to strike with him?
No, I knew I had him hurt when I landed a cross hook. My right hook, which is normally I don't really catch too many people with the right hook, but landed a right hook, and I saw him a little bit wobbled, and I knew that was it. I was gonna get him right there, so I put the pressure on.
And when you did land that final punch, and we see him awkwardly kind of land on the fence and slump down, did you realize he was out right then and there? That was the end of the fight for you.
Yeah, I knew as soon as I hit him because I saw him falling, and I saw his eyes rolling back and his mouthpiece coming out. I knew it was over. I wasn't going to follow on that.
And what was that feeling like when you mentioned you see him falling, you see the eyes roll back, and you realize right then and there in the cage that that's it, you got this one, and it's by knockout.
I mean, at that point, I was really pumped, so I had all that adrenaline going through me. But afterwards, I look at it. After I calmed down a little bit, I was happy he was okay, and that's it. I don't know how to explain it. That feeling is it's one of those things where you have to live through it. If you haven't lived through it, it's hard to explain. It it's over, but for some reason you can't open up your fist. Your fist won't open, and it's like it's it want it wants to continue until it can't continue anymore, and it's a weird feeling. So I don't know how to explain it.
And it seemed like the big reactions after the fight were people on social media. They were really happy because you threw caution to the wind, you gave everyone this big knockout and everything. What did you think of all those reactions? It seemed like the fans really pulled for you with that performance.
Yeah, I mean this seems to be one of those fights where I'm getting the most attention from. This might be yeah. I don't know if I've ever gotten more attention than this fight, which is fine. I don't mind. I get it. The fight was exciting, but if it was if I had it my way, it would have been that first round choke. My goal is to be the best martial artist. Go in there, apply the game plan and win by the game plan every time. Not not throw caution to the wind and turn it into a
Right.
50-50 ball. Because it really could have been 50-50 if he had landed somewhere in that exchange. Maybe I would have been hurt, and it would have been a different game.
And so we did touch on this a little bit, but right now you're 4-0. You've got three wins out of that winning streak. Is it time for them to start matching you up with contenders? I mean, we've talked about it before, but it seems like is the UFC not matching you up with the right guys at this point?
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit strange to me because I'm not getting contenders, but at the same time I'm not getting easy fights. Like Drakkar was
Right.
5-1. Uh, Dober, everybody knows Dober is dud. Like look at him lately. I feel like if you exclude the loss to me, I think he won like the past 7-8 fights. He might be like 8-1 if you exclude me. For Macho, I know his record isn't the best, but man, Frank is a freaking beast. I've seen him fight welterweights. I've seen him fight weights, and he's a stud, man. So I feel I'm getting the tough guys outside of the top 15. So which I don't mind. That's what I'm here for. I want to fight the guys in the world and move my way up. So that's all that matters is making sure I fight everybody on my way to the title. Because maybe I won't get to defend my title that many times when I get, or maybe I will. But as long as I fight everybody, I'm cool.
And I believe in the post-fight scrums, people were asking what's next and stuff. You did mention that you were going to go on a honeymoon before getting back out there to the cage. Without getting too into your personal life, where do you guys plan on going?
So ideally for me, a honeymoon would involve Singapore, Australia, and probably Thailand. Like doing like a little bit of those three. But because Marvin's fighting in London in like what 2 weeks, I'm gonna go corner him, and after that we're gonna do some moving around Europe. We'll figure it out. But yeah, ideal honeymoon would be for me Singapore, Thailand, and Australia. Those I love those places.
All right, and when do you think we'll see you back out there in the cage? Ideally, getting through cornering teammates and the honeymoon and everything.
It's a good question, man. If it's one of those things where this was the longest camp uh, I've ever had, and I don't mean just in terms of martial arts and fighting and getting ready for the fight. I got married. I bought a house. I moved out of place. I moved into another place. I got all my stuff. Man, it's been one of the most stressful 3 months of my life. So for the first time in my life, I don't know when I'm gonna get back into the octagon, but God willing, soon, man. God willing, very soon.
All right, now just one more for you. I mean, riding off a huge knockout, 4 wins in a row. I mean, you mentioned all the attention's on you. At this point, you get to start calling the shots a little bit. Ideally, who would you want next?
Ideally, someone in the top five. I hate calling people by name because one, Sean Shelby, he does a great job. He's the matchmaker. I don't need to tell him how to do his job. And two, sometimes you call somebody out and then you don't get the fight, and then you feel like a dummy. I'm good with calling people out. I'll just keep doing what I've been doing. I'm not worried about it.
All right, sounds good. Well, congratulations on the victory, Beneil. It was a great fight, obviously. I don't need to tell you that. Thank you for the time. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. Take care.